Hi, just another very quick video on the connectivity of the iPad app for SD series consoles from Digico. They are rock solid when they're working, okay, but there are a couple of bits that you need to consider when you're setting it up that might not be immediately obvious if you're sort of thrown into it 10 minutes before a show starts and you'd like to have iPad control. So the SD console you can see in front of you is connected to a router through the Ethernet port. Okay, that's already been set up with, as you can see, the subnet mask, I believe, has to be 255.255.0.0 for the console to recognise it. I may be wrong on that, but that's what I've seen online and that's what I use here. You can see that the router address is a standard one, and the IP has been routed as 1.3. You can see on my one it's routed as static. That's because if you start using other iPads on the router, occasionally you can get booted off your IP address, which will cause problems, which I'll tell you about when we look at the console. So what I have is the IP address is statically assigned to iPads so that I can retain control of who is where. If you're just using it for one iPad, you can let your router do a DHCP assignment for the IP address and you should be fine. But it's more stable if you use a static IP. Okay, so we can see there's 1.3 on that one. Come down to the console, and you're going to want to go up to Setup and then External Control. Now, you have to have external control enabled. Okay, so that needs to say yes. Don't worry about HUI sensing. Okay, and then when you're adding a device, okay, so you're going to add device. Okay, you get your question. What's it going to be? Okay, obviously it's a Digico pad. Okay, so when you add that, you're going to get the option to change the name of it. Okay, the IP address should be the IP address that you see there. Okay, and then the send and receive codes, okay, are automatically generated as 9,000 and 8,000. Okay, that, okay, you need to remember. Okay, and then enabled. The key is when you first do it, you need to make sure that you press load. Okay, and what that does is it loads the protocols into the session. So you click load and it will say they've been loaded, and no problem. If you don't click that, the iPad app will just spin round and not be able to find anything. Okay, so in theory that's done. Okay, so we close that, we go back to our iPad. Okay, and we go to the app. Okay, and you can see that you have options here for connection name. Okay, that needs to be ideally the same as the one on the console. The desk IP, okay, is going to be found down here. There's your local, okay, that's your console, and your local IP that's been assigned is there. It doesn't have to be on the same 1.1 or 1.2 as your router, but it does need to be within the same 192.168. Okay, so you can see that's 192.168.6.221. Okay, that's entered there. Okay, the part that got me for quite a while was the send and receive code, and they have to be reversed. Okay, so the send port and the receive port, okay, switch them round. Okay, so you can see send on here is 8,000, okay, on the desk 9,000, receive 8,000, okay, and then 9,000 on the console. Okay, I think that makes sense. What will then happen is that your console will appear here, okay, and then click it, and with any luck, up it comes. Okay, as I said, very stable when it does come up. It is just that initial stage of making sure you've gone through all the steps. Okay, any questions or comments, okay, please leave them below. Any requests for video, please do let me know. I'm going to try and do some SD console walkthroughs. So if there's anything that you feel will be really useful, please do let me know and I'll see what I can do.